On December 19, 2025, President Donald Trump took the stage in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, stepping into the spotlight with the eyes of the nation upon him. The atmosphere was electric, with anticipation running high among both supporters and political observers. Rocky Mount, a city chosen for its political significance and its unique position at the crossroads of shifting voter loyalties, became the epicenter of national attention that evening. The rally was more than just another campaign stop. It was a carefully orchestrated event designed to address the economic anxieties of working families and to frame Trump's administration as the answer to their concerns. The crowd, a mix of longtime loyalists and curious undecided voters, listened intently as he spoke. Rocky Mount sits in a newly competitive congressional district, making it a prime target for Republicans eager to flip the seat currently held by Democrat Don Davis. The district's changing demographics and recent voting trends have made it a bellwether for the national mood. Trump's presence was meant to energize local conservatives, rally the party base, and send a clear message about the national stakes involved. By turning the district into a microcosm of the broader midterm battle, he aimed to inspire volunteers and donors across the country. The timing, just days before the holidays, ensured maximum media attention, capturing headlines before the news cycle slowed for the season. Reporters from across the nation descended on Rocky Mount, amplifying the event's impact. On stage, Trump projected unwavering confidence, promising renewed prosperity despite ongoing economic headwinds. He painted a vision of a brighter future, using the moment to set the tone for the Republican midterm strategy and to reassure voters of his leadership. He highlighted positive economic trends, pointed to job growth and investment, and deflected blame for persistent challenges onto his political opponents. Trump argued that only Republican control could guarantee a full economic recovery and protect American families. As supporters filed out into the chilly December night, the event stood as a calculated effort to leave voters with a lasting impression, one that would echo into the new year and shape the political landscape ahead.
The 2026 midterms pose a major challenge for Republicans, who currently hold only slim majorities in Congress. With the balance of power so delicate, every seat is crucial, and the stakes couldn't be higher for both parties. Republicans are under intense pressure to defend their narrow lead, while Democrats see a real opportunity to flip control and reshape the legislative agenda for the next 2 years. Historically, the president's party tends to lose ground in midterms, and even a handful of lost seats could hand control to Democrats, potentially stalling or even reversing Trump's legislative agenda. The outcome could determine whether key Republican priorities move forward or get blocked in Congress.
That's why economic issues are front and center. Voters are feeling the impact of rising prices, job insecurity, and uncertainty about the future. For many Americans, the state of the economy is the single most important factor shaping their vote. Voter frustration over inflation or unemployment could cost Republicans dearly. If families continue to struggle with high costs or stagnant wages, the political consequences could be severe, especially in battleground districts. The North Carolina rally was a direct response, aiming to persuade voters that Trump's economic plan is working, even if results aren't yet widespread. The campaign is working hard to convince skeptical voters that better days are ahead and that patience will pay off. Control of Congress means more than just passing laws. It's about setting the national agenda, deciding which issues get attention, and holding investigative power over the executive branch. The party in charge can shape the country's direction for years to come. Trump's strategy is to make the midterms a choice between his economic vision and what he calls failed Democratic policies, hoping to nationalize the election around the economy. He's betting that voters will rally behind his message of growth and prosperity. The outcome will shape Washington's political landscape for years to come, influencing not just the next 2 years but also Trump's legacy and the future direction of both parties.
North Carolina is a perennial battleground, with both parties boasting strong, motivated bases. Trump's narrow victories in the state highlight its competitive nature and national importance.
The state's diverse mix of urban, suburban, and rural voters makes it a testing ground for campaign messages ahead of the midterms. The Rocky Mount district, now more favorable to Republicans after redistricting, is a top target for flipping the House. Trump's rally brought national attention to the local race, aiming to boost the GOP and warn Democrats that no seat is safe. Winning here is crucial for building a durable Republican majority. North Carolina's issues, economic anxiety, cultural debates, mirror national trends, making it a barometer for the country. By choosing this state, Trump was road testing a message he hopes will resonate in other key districts.
Trump's speech centered on a simple narrative. He inherited an economic mess and is fixing it. He blamed his predecessor, Joe Biden, for high inflation and economic woes, repeating, "I inherited a mess and I'm fixing it." Trump touted lower gas prices and billions in tariff revenue as proof his policies are working. He claimed to have secured massive foreign investment, signaling renewed global confidence in the U.S.
These points painted a picture of decline under Democrats and renewal under Trump, urging voters to trust his vision. He asked for patience, promising that his policies would soon deliver broad prosperity. The message: blame the past, hope for the future, and trust in his leadership.
The Consumer Price Index, or CPI, is the key measure of inflation, tracking the cost of a typical basket of goods and services that most Americans rely on every day. The CPI is updated monthly and reflects changes in prices for essentials like food, housing, transportation, and healthcare. Economists and policymakers closely watch these numbers as they offer a snapshot of how affordable life is for the average person and help guide important decisions about interest rates and government policy. The latest CPI report showed prices up 2.7% over the past year, a slower rate than previous years. This moderation in inflation is significant, especially after a period of rapid price increases that strained many household budgets. For many families, even a small change in inflation can make a big difference in their monthly expenses. Trump seized on this as evidence his policies are taming inflation, especially after what he called the worst inflation in decades. He pointed to the numbers as proof that his administration's economic strategies are working and used the data to draw a sharp contrast with previous years of higher inflation. Housing costs, the biggest expense for most families, rose at the slowest pace in 4 years, a point Trump highlighted as a major victory. Lower increases in rent and home prices mean more breathing room for millions of Americans, especially those struggling to keep up with the cost of living. Food prices also saw their smallest increase since early 2025, another talking point for the administration. For families who have felt the pinch at the grocery store, this slowdown in food inflation is a welcome relief, making it a little easier to put meals on the table.
These improvements allowed Trump to argue that his economic management is making life more affordable. He emphasized that lower inflation means more stability and predictability for working families, and used these statistics to rally support at campaign events. By focusing on these positive trends, the administration built a narrative of progress, even as challenges remain. While not every American feels the benefits equally, the message is clear: the economy is on a better path, and there is hope for continued improvement. The message, according to the administration, is that the country is moving in the right direction under Republican leadership, with a renewed sense of optimism about the future.
Despite some positive CPI data, the economic reality for Americans remains mixed. Egg prices, after dramatic spikes, fell for the second month in a row, a win Trump touted as proof of recovery. But beef prices soared, and electricity costs climbed, offsetting gains elsewhere and fueling voter frustration.
Both parties cherry-pick data. Trump highlights falling prices, while Democrats point to rising costs for essentials. The uneven nature of inflation means personal experiences vary widely, making the economic picture confusing for voters.
Rising utility bills and expensive groceries cut into family budgets, undermining claims of broad recovery.
The administration's narrative of success is challenged by persistent pain points in household expenses.
Even as some prices moderate, key costs continue to climb, keeping economic anxiety high.
Trump's core message is clear: blame Democrats for economic problems, claim credit for any improvements. He frames negative indicators as lingering effects of Biden's policies, while positive news is proof his own approach is working. This black and white narrative simplifies complex realities, turning the economy into a partisan battleground. Trump touts deregulation, tax cuts, and tariffs as the engines of recovery, arguing they unleash American business and protect jobs. By casting himself as the defender of ordinary Americans and Democrats as the cause of their pain, he taps into public frustration. The message: your struggles aren't your fault. They're the other party's, and only Trump can fix them.
This approach turns economic debate into an emotional fight for the nation's future.
Despite Trump's confident tone, polls show only 33% of Americans approve of his economic leadership.
This disconnect between the administration's message and public experience is a major political problem. If voters don't feel the benefits, they're unlikely to support Republicans in 2026.
Many still feel squeezed by high prices, outweighing any positive data the administration promotes.
The challenge is to bridge the gap between messaging and reality, something that takes time and tangible results.
Changing public opinion requires real improvements people can feel, like rising wages or lower costs.
For now, the low approval rating signals an uphill battle for Trump and the GOP. The administration must hope positive trends accelerate, or risk facing a skeptical electorate in the midterms. Trump's Rocky Mount rally kicked off a year-long battle to win voters on the economy. The GOP strategy framed the midterms as a choice between Trump's economic vision and Democratic failures.
Republicans will highlight every positive trend, promising prosperity if voters keep them in power.
Democrats will counter with stories of high costs and argue Trump's policies favor the wealthy. They'll use low approval ratings as evidence of failure and call for new leadership in Congress.
The 2026 midterms will be a referendum on Trump's economic record, with both sides repeating their arguments nationwide. Voters will weigh the administration's narrative against their own experiences. The central question: are Americans more financially secure under Trump or ready for change?